A raise of hands. How many of you here have ever played chess? Wow, that's a lot. I see chess as an educational tool that improves emotional intelligence, a tool that can be used to educate children as young as 3. When I started Chessmates, I used stories and songs as a way of connecting children with chess. One of my favourite stories is about the bishops. Does anyone here know how the bishops move? Yes, that's right, diagonally. Most 3-year-olds wouldn't even know what the word diagonal means, let alone how to say it. So I came up with this story about how one bishop loves vanilla ice cream and the other bishop loves chocolate ice cream. But they really don't like the other person's ice cream. So if they step onto the wrong square, they end up vomiting going, bleh, as they really dislike the other person's ice cream. This story is used to explain why the bishops can only move in their own colour and why they can only move in a diagonal on the chessboard. The more I taught, the more I learnt. One of the biggest things I saw with children was their ability to learn about failure and adversity wasn't great. Occasionally, when they lost a piece, they would be stomping of feet, tears, and occasionally knocking off the pieces off the chessboard. However, with more exposure to chess and discussion around the topic, we would see a plethora of improvements in the way children would regulate their emotions as they would start talking about why they lost a piece and what they could have done differently. I foresee in the future emotional intelligence topics such as understanding failure and adversity will be taught more often in schools. According to psychologist Daniel Goleman in his book, Emotional Intelligence, he suggests that emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. He also states that the basic premise is that all children must learn about emotions and that all feelings are okay to have. But what about if you're in an adverse situation? How do you create adversity? How do you deal with adversity? The more one is exposed to difficult situations, the more one can improve in their discomfort. This is where I see chess coming in. Traditionally, chess is taught as a sport where children would play to improve their problem solving, critical thinking, and logic. However, from my time teaching chess, I see chess as much more than a game. I see it as fundamental in helping children understand about failure, adapting to adversity, and self-awareness. As children, we are told that failure is a bad thing. You learn a concept, you do an exam, and if we get the answer wrong, we are considered failures. We need to teach children that failing is okay, and failure and disappointment are normal parts of life. I see chess coming into this as it sets up many situations where children will not always get what they want. However, it's how they adapt and learn from these defeats that will help them become more resilient, self-aware, and patient. I taught a 4-year-old once, a couple of years ago, a really smart kid, knew how all the pieces move. But one of his quirks was that he would associate himself with each piece. So there'll be a pawn, and it's like, that's me. You look at the bishop, and go like, that's me too. And even with the queen, he goes like, that's me, I'm going to move myself as the queen. So needless to say, when one person on the other team actually took his piece, he got really cranky. He would start crying, wah. He would knock the pieces over, he even pegged a piece at another kid once. That wasn't good. So we made a rule. Every time he lost a piece, we'd put our hands like this, and we'd talk about why we lost that piece and what we could have done differently. Over time, when he ever lost a piece, he'd put his hands up and he would talk about why he lost that piece in a calm and rational manner. He was able to show empathy, self-awareness, and patience. And this behaviour flowed onto his classroom. He did the program for the next 12 months. And one of the things that ended up happening was if the other person was about to make a bad move, he would just go, nope, what are you doing? If you move your bishop over there, I'm going to take you with my pawn. Or he would actually say what he was going to do next. It's like, I'm going to get your queen in 2 turns, so I'm going to move my bishop over there to try and get your queen. It is amazing to think that he went from howling to helping the other person. This is the power of chess as an educational tool for emotional intelligence. I want to tell you a story about Queen Shell, who, after losing a game of chess, she ends up being really upset, and so she goes to a wishing well, and she gets 2 wishes. Her 2 wishes are: 1, she wants to become the best chess player in the world, and 2, she wants to be the only person in the world who knows how to play chess. Be careful what you wish for. The moral of the story is, yes, it is an amazing feeling when you win a game of chess. But can you play a game of chess by yourself? These lessons have translated really well to students who are on the autism spectrum. I've had children who have struggled to make friends, interact freely through chess. I've had parents tell me that their child has become more social through chess. And this isn't limited to just children. I've used this approach in aged cares as well. Residents have started talking and coming out of their shell, yes, over chess. A quote by Daniel Goleman: "If your emotional abilities aren't in hand, if you don't have self-awareness, then no matter how smart you are, you're not going to get very far." In saying that, these children, when they grow up, they'll be able to cope and whatever life throws at them. They'll be nicer people, better people, happier people, and a big part of that is thanks to chess. Thank you.